On a rugged limestone promontory that juts into the deep blue of the Adriatic, just beyond the bustling port of Trieste, stands a castle born of a dream. It is a vision of impossible, brilliant white. Its slender towers and crenellated battlements rising against the sea and sky with the crisp, clean lines of a fairy tale illustration. This is Miramare. Its name, chosen by the man who willed it into being, translates as to behold the sea, and no name could be more fitting. This castle is not a fortress built to repel enemies, nor a palace designed for the machinations of a great court. It is a love letter written in Istrian stone, an intimate dialogue between a romantic prince and his one true passion, the vast, eternal, and ultimately treacherous sea. The story of Miramare is inextricably, tragically, and beautifully fused with the story of its creator, Archduke Ferdinand Maximilian of Habsburg. He was a figure born out of time, a quintessential romantic soul, living in the rigid, formal world of the 19th century Austrian Empire. As the younger brother of the powerful Emperor Franz Joseph I, Maximilian was destined to live a life in the shadow of the throne. He was intelligent, liberal-minded, and possessed of a deep and restless curiosity that was ill-suited to the suffocating etiquette of the Hofburg Palace in Vienna. He found his escape and his true calling not in the gilded ballrooms of the capital, but in the navy. The sea offered him freedom, purpose, and a connection to the wider world. He rose to become commander-in-chief of the Imperial Austrian Navy, and his heart remained forever anchored to the rhythm of the tides. In the 1850 S, while serving in Trieste, Maximilian discovered the barren, rocky spur of Grignano. It was a place of harsh karst limestone and sparse, wind-battered vegetation. Yet, looking out from this wild, untamed point, Maximilian saw not a wasteland, but a paradise. He envisioned a castle perched on the very edge of the rock, its windows open to the sea breeze, surrounded by a lush, exotic garden that he would personally create. He purchased the promontory and commissioned the architect Carl Junker to help him realize his vision. Construction began in 1856. Miramare was to be a sanctuary, a private world for himself and his intelligent, ambitious wife, Charlotte of Belgium. A place where his love of nature and his love of the sea could finally find a single, harmonious home. To step inside Miramare today is to step directly into the mind of its creator. The castle is preserved almost exactly as Maximilian left it, a perfect time capsule of his passions and his personality. The ground floor, where his private apartments were located, is a remarkable testament to his naval career. These are not the rooms of a typical land-bound prince. They are designed to evoke the intimate, functional, and deeply personal space of a ship's cabin. His private study, the studiolo, and his bedroom are paneled in rich, dark wood, with low ceilings and furnishings designed to resemble the officers' quarters on his beloved flagship, the frigate Novara. The rooms are filled with globes, nautical charts, scientific instruments, and souvenirs from his extensive travels to Brazil and the Near East. Every detail speaks of a life oriented towards the sea. The windows are designed like the stern of a great ship, offering panoramic 220-degree views of the Adriatic. From his desk, Maximilian could look out and see nothing but water, creating the illusion that he was still at sea. His castle, an anchored flagship, the ultimate sailor's home. The upper floor, designed for his wife Charlotte and for receiving guests, is more conventional in its regal splendor. The rooms are decorated in a rich, eclectic historicist style, adorned with red silk damask, heavy chandeliers, and gilded furniture. They speak of Charlotte's own royal lineage and the formal requirements of their station. Yet even here, the sea is a constant presence, its blue light flooding through the tall windows. The entire castle is a dialogue between Maximilian's intimate maritime world and the grand public world of a Habsburg archduke. If the castle was Maximilian's love letter to the sea, the vast park surrounding it was his tribute to the earth. The creation of the gardens of Miramare was an act of almost miraculous transformation. The archduke, a passionate and knowledgeable botanist, took on the immense challenge of taming the barren karst promontory. He had tons of rich soil imported from the Austrian regions of Styria and Carinthia to cover the bare rock. He then set about designing a magnificent 54-acre park, a personal Eden where he could cultivate plants from all over the world. The park is a masterpiece of 19th century landscape design, divided into two distinct sections. Near the castle is a formal geometric Italian garden with elegant parterres, classical statues, and carefully trimmed hedges, a space of order and human control over nature. But the larger part of the park is designed as a romantic English landscape garden. A labyrinth of winding paths leads the visitor through dense groves of trees, past tranquil ponds, gazebos, and charming follies. Maximilian personally oversaw the planting, using his naval connections to import an incredible variety of exotic trees and plants from his travels. Cedars from Lebanon and the Himalayas, sequoias from California, cypresses from Mexico, and countless rare flowers and shrubs. He dammed a stream to create a swan lake, built elegant greenhouses, serres, to nurture his most delicate orchids, and constructed a small castelletto within the park, which served as his residence while the main castle was being built. The park at Miramare is a testament to his scientific curiosity and his romantic soul. It was his personal laboratory and his sanctuary, a lush, green paradise painstakingly created on a foundation of bare white rock. For a few brief, happy years, Maximilian and Charlotte lived in this idyllic world they had created, a fragile paradise built on the very edge of the Adriatic. But after a pandemic, upheaval, and a culture crisis, to visit Miramare is to be caught between immense beauty and a profound sense of melancholy. The castle is a masterpiece of historicist architecture, a perfect fantasy of a medieval fortress created in an age of romance. The park is a botanical marvel, a testament to one man's passion for nature. But it is impossible to walk through the exquisite rooms designed with such love and personal detail without feeling the weight of the tragedy that befell its creators. The rooms feel less like historical spaces and more like a perfectly preserved stage set, abandoned by its actors in the middle of the first act. Miramare is, in the end, a castle of longing. It represents Maximilian's longing for a life of purpose and his deep, abiding love for the sea. It represents Charlotte's longing for a crown and a lost husband, and it creates in the modern visitor a powerful sense of longing for a world of such intense, if ultimately doomed, beauty and idealism. It is not a happy place, but it is an unforgettable one. It stands as a timeless monument to a romantic dream, a white castle forever gazing out at the sea, a beautiful, poignant, and tragic love letter that was sent but never received.